but we're finding out that, for instance, some of the things that have been on the media, so this is now in the public arena, is that Nike gave $40 million to Black Lives Matter. Adidas gave $20 million to Black Lives Matter. Walmart gave $100 million to Black Lives Matter. As I said in previous times, Black Lives Matter is not a peaceful organization. Black Lives Matter is a violent organization that came out of the Students for a Democratic Society, which was an extreme group. Actually, if you look at any of their rallies, you'll notice that about half or more of the people are white. That doesn't mean that they just are joining for today. You do get that. And I mean, I'm not saying some don't, but I mean, that is not what it's all about. They want the violent overthrow of our government. They want our government. They believe, like all true globalists, they believe that our government has to completely fall. Got to be completely destroyed before it can be rebuilt into the dream that it could be. So what do you do with that? Well, I think you should write them. You know, if none of us ever object to anything and say, I heard that. I mean, write a nice letter. Don't. Remember, honor, and respect. I mean, write a nice letter. I heard it reported that you donated. If this is true, I'd really like you to confirm it. If it's not, please let me know, because many people are being affected by this and talking about boycotting your store. So I think we really could do that, either by email or snail mail or however you want to do it. All right? Question number 2. Why are we one of the only churches open for services in the Chicago, it says Chicagoland area. I don't know about Chicagoland, but I know around here and for some distance around here, we're very close. Excuse me. Now other churches, I should say, I don't know of another, I do not know personally, maybe you do, of another church that's meeting with their whole congregation. And we've been meeting for over a month. Why are we the only ones? Well, number one, God spoke to your pastor, that'd be me, and told me it was time to have church. And I was believing that God would change all of this, but I realized, or at least I felt that wisdom would say, at least talk to people in your church and make sure everybody feels good about coming back, because if I call church and nobody comes, that's going to be kind of awkward. I need more of something. Anyway, so we did that, and that delayed us a couple of weeks, but we still started at it, almost on time when the Lord told me to start, and I thought that was good. Excuse me. I feel like I was talking almost as long as President Trump, but so then we started, and nobody else wanted to, and everybody else complied with Governor Pritzker and his guidelines. And then after we started, Governor Pritzker came out almost immediately, because God is so good. God is so good. If you'll walk by faith, God will always meet you. So he came out almost immediately, and he said, because he was threatened by the president, and then he got a call from Justice Kavanaugh. Thank God he's on the Supreme Court. And he was told to get back to him by 8 o'clock that night on opening the churches. So Pritzker came out, and here's what he said. Here's what is law right now in Illinois. I'm going to open us to another level, and churches can now meet with 10, or if they choose more, but I encourage them to stick with 10. But if they have more, I'm not going to do anything. Nobody's going to arrest anybody. You're not doing anything illegal, which I knew that anyway because that never was law. That was the governor, but we'll get to that later. So, but we should make it an option to practice social discipline and different things like that, which we made that an option, and we started having church. And that's why we're having church. And that's why other people are not having churches, because they made a choice. I've talked to pastors. I've talked to other people around the area. Why is your church not meeting? Well, we can only meet with a small group like this. And I thought, okay, well, I can't tell you what to do. Besides driving around our suburbs and praying, what else should we be doing to bring revival to the Chicago area? There's a lot of things you can do. I've been talking about it, but again, you got to start talking at work. I'm sorry, there's no easy way out. You're going to have to start being real with your families. Stop lying and deceiving them, and just become a good repenter. By that I mean, don't let the fact that you got mad, spit, swore, whatever, in front of somebody stop you from being a Christian.
Repent.
Repent. Confess it. Get it. That's humbling. That's humbling. But then you can witness again. And say, I know I did that. I know I fell. Please forgive me. But by God's grace, I'll never do that again. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be a better way to do it? So, that would be my recommendation there. Let's see here. Where's Honey? Honey. Where are you, honey? I should have you find this. I know you're here.
If we know who's behind the rioting.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let me see if I can get past that. That's long, that's long, that's long, that's long. Oh, here we go. Here's a, if we know who is funding Antifa and Black Lives Matter, why are we not prosecuting them? Wow. You actually know the answer to why they're not being prosecuted. Because you saw the governor in Minnesota, you saw the mayor in Minneapolis, you saw the mayor and the governor in New York, you saw the mayor in Washington, D.C. We have our own mayor here in Chicago, who you now have witnessed, and you are benefiting from living in a state to be one of the last governors on the planet that wants to open his state up all the way. That's why you're not eating in a restaurant or anything. So the reason they're not being prosecuted is because they...
Streamer's not working.
Where?
I don't know.